Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's everyone doing today? This is Internet Uncapped. I am Mitchy Poppy. I am joined here by Minds Evan, or usually just Evan. And
Yes.
today, as you can see with the Minds and from my background, we are going to be talking about Mind's Eye today. And this is episode, Evan, what episode is this?
I think we're on 10 question mark? 10 or 11,
Uh,
something like that.
Dropped a ton. Woo!
Dead 10. Um
Yeah,
Dirty 10 as they would say. I know
dirty
they say dirty
10.
30, but
Yeah.
dirty 10 should be a new thing. Um
Yeah, and
yeah, something
again,
like
we're
that.
going to be talking about the new game that just released. We are recording the 12th of June, 2025. And this game, Mind's Eye, came out this past Tuesday, which was the 10th of June, 2025. Um, and this game is disastrous. Um,
Really?
we yeah, we want to talk about the game, and we want to, unlike iDubbbz, show some empathy. To these developers because I want to say something about video game industry and video games in general, and we'll get to that in a second. But I think the most important thing is one, what we're going to do during this episode is we're going to break down the game, talk about things that we saw, positives, negatives, how this series can improve if it can, and we'll give an
Mhm.
example about that. Um, what does this mean for Build a Rocket Boy? We're going to talk about that, and we're going to go from there. So first and foremost, just to go ahead and to give everyone a little bit of insight what the game is about, we're going to do a brief overview. Um, you play as uh, Jacob Diaz, um, and you go to this place called Red Rock, which is essentially just a reimagining of Las Vegas. Um, it's set in the near future. They give a date at the beginning of the game. I forgot what the date is, but it's not like 2020 or sorry, not like 2030. I think it's like 2070 if I remember correctly. Excuse me. Um,
Uh-huh.
but it's in the near future,
Yeah.
and it's a city is called Red Rock. Again, it's a reimagining of Las Vegas, and this game, when I first saw it, I got super excited because I saw the game and I was like, oh, wow, that looks like a really cool game. They showed some gameplay footage, they showed the graphics, and I thought, okay, this isn't blowing me away with the graphics in the same sense. Like we talked about the trailers and the screenshots that we got from GTA 6. It didn't look anything like that, but we did see a game that looked really good. And I can't even really say really good. It looked like a PS4 game on PS5 technology, but the world and when you're playing the game, the world they built a really incredible world, and I don't know what happened and why they decided to not make it open world. We'll get to that later. But again, you play as Jacob Diaz. He goes to Red Rock, which is a reimagining of Las Vegas. He lives with his friend who they don't ever really go into the backstory of like how they're friends. Like they live next to each other growing up, and then he's like, "Yeah, sure, you can live with me," and it's like what? Like, oh man, you stopped those bullies from beating me up one time. Like it's just he just has this strange relationship with a neighbor who is the same age as him, and they don't
Mhm.
even call each other like best friends. Not that I remember or recall or have heard since playing the game. Like it's just such a weird situation to be in. It's really weird, and I don't understand it. Um, but yeah, and so again, Jacob Diaz he comes to Red Rock, and what he's looking for is he's looking for answers. More specifically, he has a chip or a Neuralink, something like that, behind his ear. It's behind his right ear, I
Mhm.
think, or maybe it's the left. I don't know. It's behind his one of his ears, and it's all about just trying to go ahead and figure out what happened during his time in the service. He was in the special forces, and something happened where his memory got completely wiped away, and now he doesn't know what the hell happened during that time, and he forgot everything, and now he's trying to figure out what happened exactly during that time, and he's trying to put all of his memories back together. And that's kind of at the focal point of the game. You're trying to go back and figure out what happened exactly. How did this happen to me? What happened during my time in the service? Did I do anything wrong that I need to make right? And that's sort of the end all be all of what happens in this game. Um, so for the story, that's essentially it. There's really, I mean, there's other stuff that we'll dive into a little bit later. We'll do spoilers. Um, I haven't beaten it yet, and I find it really hard to play the game. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm playing it because I spent the $60, and I was going to try to play it the day that it came out, yesterday and today, and try to beat the game, because I knew it was a linear game. Wasn't an open world game. Um, but I find it hard to play. And I was majorly let down. I told you about it. I want to say like a month before, and I was like, yeah, I can't wait for this game to come out. I was telling family members, I was telling friends, I was telling everyone. I was like, yeah, I can't wait for this game to come out. It looks like it's going to be a really good game. I'm excited for it. I was let down. I was let down, and I don't like it. I feel cheated. I feel lied to. I feel a lot of things, and none of it is positive. So, yeah.
Yeah, when you told me about it, I obviously I don't follow video games, but honestly, even for someone like me who obviously I know about Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar, and not so much the people behind those companies, but I know those games. I mean, they're famous, right? I was just surprised that there was a game that was so hyped up like this that I just had never heard of. So when you told me about it, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then it was like, oh, it's from the same people who were on at RockStar
Well,
Games when they were
one
developing Grand Theft
one
Auto, and
one guy,
yeah,
Leslie
well,
Benzie.
one guy, Lindsay Benzie, yeah. So the one, but he was he played a big role in that. Like he
Yeah,
wasn't the company, but
he
yeah,
was one of the guys that you would see, like one of the heads. And
one
whenever
of the
they were
heads.
at
Right.
the video game awards, whenever they were at anything, he was there. When they talked to IGN about different video games, he was the guy that you would often see. It would be him or the Hauser brothers. So he was one of the big three talking heads. Where again, it was always him talking to everyone and promoting the product and doing all the media stuff. That was him.
Right. So then closer to launch, it was like, oh, this is going to be a big release. Oh, this is going to be such a big deal. Well, Mitchell gave me an assignment and he told me, Evan, you have to watch the DSP stream because he's going to be streaming it like as soon as it comes out and he's going to mess it up and you got to watch it. I'm like, all right, fine, I will. It was one of the most mundane, asinine, horrible streams I've ever seen. However, believe it or not, even though DSP was like futzing around with the controls and he was like trying to say, "Oh, this game's broken." It turns out actually the game isn't really that great, and so he kind of, in his own galaxy brain way, he kind of was onto something a little bit. And I'm just an outside observer, right? But it
Yeah.
was like I wasn't too impressed with what I was looking at. The
Mhm.
graphics were kind of odd, as you can see in the background of Mitchell's background. Is the guy's eyes are like really huge, and his lips are kind of moving kind of weird. The main character. So I was looking at some like, this is the game, and then we don't even. And then the very beginning of the stream, a DSP stream, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, they just sort of plop us in the middle of the action. They don't explain anything.
Mhm.
We don't know anything about what this game is about. And you can only assume it's either some kind of AI or robots or aliens or whatever. And from there, I was like curious, like, what is the actual react? Like, for me as an outsider, I'm like, I don't think I would play a game like this because there's not much of an appeal. What else?
Mhm.
What are other people gonna think? Well, it turns out that they, like you said, the reviews came in, everybody was shitting all over it, and it was a massive failure. And it was just
Yeah.
like, wow. It's like I was kind of surprised. I was like, you were hyping this up. You're like, we gotta get this video out. We gotta get it out. We have to do and then it's like, oh, it's actually not a good game.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to do the video regardless because it is something that is
Regardless.
that is
But it's just
relevant.
somebody like, Evan, we have to do this. We gotta get this out right now. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to get it out in a more positive note. You are right about that. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, with everything that happened, it's this sucks. But
Unfortunately, yeah.
yeah, so
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
yeah, I was majorly let down. But it's we'll get to something in a little bit. So the five main things, like for me, that I like to rate video games on, I'm gonna list them here now. One, the story. Is the story compelling? Some people say, like, is it like real? Like, I mean, how can you compare the story of Mario and be like, is it real? Is there an Italian man killing turtles? Like, I don't understand that. But is the story compelling? Like, does it evoke emotion? Or does it do what it set out to do? Does it entertain you? Does it do its job? That's one. That's story. Characters,
Yeah.
are the characters believable in their set universe? Are, like, do they make sense? Like, do they have a purpose? How are the actors doing with them? Like, did the actors play it right? Did they overdo it? That's another thing. Third, graphics. What are the graphics like? Are they for the time period? Are they a little bit behind? I mean, and the art style too matters. I'm not gonna look at Mario Kart and be like, oh my god, the cars in GTA look so much better. Like, I would never do that. Like, that would just be
Right.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, and what was the other thing I was gonna say? So yeah, right. Characters, um, graphics, story, gameplay. How is the game interacting with you? How do you interact with the gameplay? How are the controls? Are they tight? Are they like, if you're driving, how's driving feel? How does the shooting feel? And then lastly, the world. How does the world feel? Is the world, like, just empty? And the world and the AI, I kind of put those both together. Like, is it empty? Does it make sense? How is everyone reacting to everything? And we're just going to go in that order. The story, it's an okay story. I think, I haven't beaten it yet, and again, I find it hard to play, so I can't say, like, whoa, this is the greatest story I've ever played, but I also can't say, whoa, this story sucks, man. Like, I can't say that.
It's
Um,
dog shit. Like, you
yeah,
can't go that far.
I can't go that far, but from what
Yeah.
I've seen so far, I mean, it's I find it hard to connect with the main character. I Jacob Diaz, for me, I find him to be very generic. Like, I'm trying to figure out my past. Okay.
Hmm.
Um,
So what is it?
yeah,
What's going
exactly.
on?
Like, and it's just very, just like, strange. Like, I think it's hard to really feel for that character. Like, like the very beginning, and you see him go ahead and have this moment, and then it goes into the game. um it's just, it's tough. It's tough, like that, to really be relatable to Jacob.
Yeah.
um
Sure.
so for that instance, for the story, um not impressed, not impressed at all. Next thing, go into the characters. I thought the actors, for what they were given, I thought they did a good job. um I can't really say, like, oh, this guy really sucked. Like, you're given what you're given, and you just have to make it work. It's similar to wrestling. Um, like the guy who plays the Boogeyman in WWE. I mean, you can't really say, "Oh man, that guy sucks." I mean, he's the Boogeyman. Like, what do you expect from him? He shows up once in a blue moon, just for like a gimmick around Halloween, going, "I'm the Boogeyman, and I'm coming to get you." And then they put him in the video game sometimes. But that's it. So for the actors in the game, Alex Hernandez, he was the actor that played the main character, Jacob Ortiz. I thought he did a good job. Again, for what he was given, for what the writing was, I thought he did a really good job. Same thing with Mafia 3. He was in that was another game that wasn't really beloved by fans. I thought he did a good job in that game as well. I think he's underrated. I think he does what he can with the writing and the story that he is given. I think he's underrated in that sense. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, but the characters, I give them credit. I think they did what they could. Um, Gameplay. How was the gameplay? Um, I'll say the driving. driving was not that bad. There it is a little glitchy sometimes, but when you're not dealing with the glitchiness, I know some people are going to say like, well, that's the problem is the glitchiness. I know that, but when there isn't glitches going on and you're just driving, the cars handle really well. And I thought they got the driving mechanic down, and I could tell that's probably where they spent a bulk of their time on with the game, is spending it on the driving aspect of the game. I could see that. So, I mean, we'll dive into the into why it should have been postponed later. But the driving I felt like was really good. The gunplay weak. The gunplay was absolutely weak. I did not like, every gun felt like a laser. It just felt like it shot in a straight line. Felt like there was no freaking recoil at all. Um, the mechanics, the cover mechanic system, very generic. Take cover, pop out, shoot. There's no blind fire. There's no melee weapons. You can't, if someone's in your face, you still shoot instead of hit them with the butt of the weapon. Even in GTA, a game made in 2013, someone's in your face with a shotgun, bam, you hit them with the butt of the gun, then you shoot them. Um, and just like little things like that were just very, very strange to me. Um,
Hmm.
so with the gameplay aspect. Um, Next, the world. The world was very detailed. Um, again, the driving, I can tell for the gameplay aspect, that's what they spent the most time on. Now the world. Now when I say the world, I'm not talking about the AI that inhabits the world. I'm talking about the buildings, the structure. When you go around the build, it's a very nice layout. Everything makes sense where it is. And the desert areas, like you have some cars that are parked. You can tell like they're people are hanging out in those areas. Again, we'll get to the AIs in a second, but they definitely put things in a specific place and had a reason for where they put things. So in that aspect, I thought the world looked really good. It's unfortunate that there is no open world aspect, and you can't, go ahead in between missions and go exploring. I would have liked to have driven around in the car that they give you in the game and check out, um, just the different things. Like they have the orb that's super popular right now. Everyone's like, oh wow, you can watch UFC in the orb, you can watch WWE in the orb, you can watch all these things in the orb, and they actually have their own orb um,
Hmm.
in the world. And it would have been cool to go over there and like see it, see something on it. Um, so to not see that really, to not be able to do that in between missions, really disappointing. Really disappointing. Didn't like that. Um, Lastly, AI. The citizens are dumb. Evan, I'm pointing a gun at you, but my reticle is not aiming at you. I'm aiming just off of your ear. You are perfectly fine. Oh my God, the reticle's on your ear. Now you're flipping out. And there's times where the people will crouch and they slide. They don't move their legs, they slide across the screen.
Hmm.
I witnessed that in my gameplay and I went, what the fuck? Um,
I actually saw a video recently. Well, it's a thread.
mhm.
But what I saw was that the NPCs, for whatever reason, you shoot at some of them and like they freeze. I don't know if you had that problem, but there was a video I saw, and there's this woman. She's like, ah, and then she's like frozen. And then they're like, and then you shoot at the guy, and he's like running, and then he freezes again. And it's like, I'm like, wait, is this a functional game? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Um, I haven't dealt with that. I have not dealt with that. I've dealt
That's
with,
good because the video was pretty embarrassing, but that's good. That's
oh,
very
there's a
good.
lot of videos on there that's embarrassing, brother.
I'm
Um,
sure.
but
I'm sure.
again, I feel really bad for the developers, and a
Mm.
couple of other things I just want to jump in and talk about. I'm just gonna put this out there. What's it? Which one is it? There we go. Bam. Pull that up. That's the game we're talking about here, folks. Mind's Eye.
Mine's I or
Yeah.
mine's E3, A3.
But a couple other things for gameplay and just other things that I just want to point out. Um, you can't steal vehicles. I don't know why. So like if your vehicle's on the verge of blowing up, you can't just steal another vehicle. That frustrated the hell out of me.
Hmm.
There's a mission where you get a submachine gun and you're leaning out the window and you're shooting. You don't have to reload. the gun just keeps shooting. Um, and that frustrated me. Um, yeah, again, there's so many things that with this game that just really weirded me out and that just didn't make any sense. And I feel like I was really majorly let down with. There was another thing I was about to mention. Again, with the AI to the driving, sometimes when the AI is driving, they just go off of the road and crash and blow up. There was a part I did a mission where I had to drive to a thing. It was called the crater, and there was this big black bus just came, started rolling down the hill and blew up. And it actually blew up next to my vehicle and blew me up. So I had to
Oh
restart the
wow.
mission. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that was about. So I don't know if that was part of the mission or if that was just AI. And when you have so many instances like that where you can't decide, like, oh, that's just a freak coincidence, or shit, that's something in the game, like then you have an issue. Like if I was playing Call of Duty and that happened, I would have said, oh, that's something I should have watched out for. If I was playing, trying to think like what's another game. Again, if I was playing like any other game, I would have probably assumed, oh, that was something I was probably supposed to be careful for, but I just totally whiffed on it because I'm an idiot. That's how I would have viewed it. But in this instance, I'm looking at it going, wow, the AI fucking sucks. So I mean, I'm very much I was very much let down. I've seen like a lot of places go ahead and like on a scale from 1 to 10, they've given this like a like 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10. I'm in the same boat. Um,
Hmm.
but next thing we'll talk about, can this game be redeemed, and what's next for this studio, and why we should show this studio empathy. But Evan, anything else you want to add on to there?
Yeah, I mean, again, just to reiterate, like, even for someone like me who, I mean, I played video games, I paid more attention to it when I was much younger, but like, I just look at this and not knowing what it's about, it doesn't have an aesthetic that seems to be unique. It just looks like one of those sort of futuristic action, uh, sci-fi video games that like you see a lot of times. And they're not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it just feels too generic. And I mean, even the gameplay that I saw, it just didn't there was nothing about what I saw that stood out for someone like me. And it's like, well, why should I buy a game like this? What's unique about the game? What stands out about it? There was that video game, what was it? Sleeping Dogs, I think is what it was called. Was it Sleeping Dogs or something like that?
If you're a Hong Kong detective,
Yeah, that one.
Sleeping Dogs. Yep.
Yeah, Sleeping Dogs. That's what I thought. So like that was really cool because it had Asian American gangsters, and that was something that, like, well, there may be a few games here and there, but how many really are there? They're not that many. So then to
Well,
have like at that point in time,
you were in Hong
what?
Kong, so you were in Hong Kong in that
Oh,
game. So.
In Hong Kong, yeah. I mean, but there were other video games that took place in Japan about Yakuza and all that other stuff. But you're right, you're right. Like, where are you going to find a video game that takes place in contemporary Hong Kong? And and then the kinds of dynamics that were very unique to that setting, and the storyline was really good. It was very well received at the time.
Yeah,
And
that
not a lot of
it's
people really talk about it anymore, but
no,
that
there's
something like that is appealing because of its uniqueness and its story structure and that kind of thing. This, I'm like, I don't know what it's about, so why would I get it?
well, one thing with Sleeping Dogs, people have been clamoring for a second one for so long, and I wish that Square Enix would just get off their ass and just make another game.
Absolutely.
Like stop playing with me and just make another game. Like really,
Yeah,
stop
I
it.
know. And then there's a whole thing about Square Enix and Final Fantasy and even Kingdom Hearts. And I love Kingdom Hearts, but
Yeah.
it's like well, we can get into that in a whole other video, but regardless, these video game companies, they got to figure it out and not milk
Mhm.
their cash cow.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and again, like you're absolutely right. Like when I saw the trailer, I didn't think like, whoa, this is going to be so different. And I think that's why games like Grand Theft Auto go ahead and get so much love and respect in Red Dead Redemption, because Rockstar takes a lot of time truly with their product, and they're always trying to innovate and they're always trying to add more. Call of Duty gives you the same schlop every single year. And then when
Yeah.
Call of Duty comes out, they're just like, hey, remember that map that you played on 2 years ago? Well, guess what? It's coming back as a DLC, bitches.
Exactly.
Guess what?
That's called marketing, folks.
That gun that was in Modern Warfare 2 when you were in middle school, we're bringing it back, but we're calling it something different. And
Yeah.
that's just what they do, and it pisses me
Exactly.
off. It pisses me off every time. Um, I've seen people go ahead and like, oh man, this new map's pretty cool. I was like, it's not new. Stop calling it new. I played this in middle school. And then some kid said, wow, you're old. And I was like, fuck you, kid. Like,
Mitchell likes to have beef with middle schoolers. It's a very unhealthy habit. But anyway, go ahead.
I don't like, no, stop. I play freaking, so it was Modern Warfare 3, just to be perfectly clear. So Modern Warfare 3, the newest one, a lot of the maps were from fucking Modern Warfare 2 in 2009.
Wow.
And I was just like, and a bunch of kids that were playing on there, they're like, wow, these new maps are cool. I'm like, don't call them new, man. These were back when I was in middle school. And the kids called me fucking old. And I was like, fuck you, kids. Like, at the time, I was like, I'm 27, man. Fuck you.
That's amazing. But
Yeah,
also,
calling me
young
old.
back to their elders. That's for damn
Yeah,
sure.
those fuckheads.
Those
Yeah.
freaking Gen Z, Gen Alpha types.
Dude, I'll tell you the truth. I don't even think I broke 30 on that. I think I literally got to like rank 26, and I said, I've had it with this. I'm not playing this shit. Like that's what Call of Duty does to me now, dude. I don't even prestige anymore. I get to like level 25, and I said, fuck it. I've had it. This is bullshit. And thankfully, it's on Game Pass now, so I don't have to pay for the crap.
Well,
Like,
that's
and
good.
even then, like I don't even pay for them. Like the newest Modern Warfare 3, I was like, I'm not gonna buy that shit. And then it came to Game Pass, and I said, all right, I'll play for free. The new Black Ops, like everyone was like, oh, well, look at the story. And I'm like, yeah, it looks interesting. I'm not gonna buy it. Came to Game Pass, I played it. For after a week, I said, all right, it's off my fucking thing. I already played it. Fuck it. That's just how I treat Call of Duty now. I don't even really care. I'm not invested in it anymore. I just play the story, and then I just fuck off. If they have zombies, I'll play zombies. And then occasionally I just come back to play zombies, see the new map, and I go, oh, this is cool. It's a cool zombies map. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it twice and fucking done with it. But enough of that. Enough of that. So with MindsEye, we went on a tangent there. With MindsEye, in the past we've seen companies, more specifically with No Man's Sky, they came back and they saved the game. And when they saved the game, like everyone was like, "Oh, this is one of the greatest comebacks of all time." And I thought to myself, can this happen for this game? I think so. But I think also what there's got to be a lot of things that's got to change. One, the AI for the enemies has to change. And this is what shocked me. Leslie Benzie, he worked RockStar Games, and one of the games that they worked on, or that he was with, that they worked on, was GTA 5. And in GTA 5, you could tell the difference in combat. So they have a paramilitary group, they have Merryweather, they have the police, and then they have the gangs, the different gangs. So the gangs use a certain type of weapons. Then you have the hillbillies up north, like where Trevor lives, the O'Neills. They use a certain type of weapon. Then you have the cops. They use their weaponry and they act a certain way. And then you got Merryweather and they do the same thing. So when you go ahead and you see when you go to the hood, you go to Grove Street. If you're Franklin, you're messing around against the gangbangers. They pull out handguns and they shoot them sideways. They pull out Uzis and they shoot them sideways. They don't really have that much training. And then when they pop up, they shoot it, and they're not accurate. They kind of they hang out together. Now with the cops, what they do is they have the cop with the shotgun always try to go up and get you, boom, boom, and the guy with the pistol stay back and shoot at you from a distance. They use tactics. Then you have Merriweather. Merriweather, they all have M4s. They kind of surround you and they try to flank you, and they try to get around your cover. They're not going to take you head on. In this game, the guys just rush at you, and it's like, oh, well, let's kill them real quick and be done with it. Um, that like stuff like that has to improve. The citizens, they have to improve immensely. Um, I think it's gonna be a long overhaul for them to fix this, and it's not gonna take like for No Man's Sky. It took them a couple of years, and I think that's what this game is gonna take. Actually, I scratch that. I think it's gonna take like 3-4 years. I think this game was needed some time. They needed some
Yeah.
time. And in a second, I want to discuss why I think they released when they did. But Evan, No Man's Sky, you know how they kind of reestablished their reputation. Do you think that
Right.
this game can be saved in that same instance? Yes or no?
When you describe it in the way you do, I think anything is possible. I think anything is possible for any game. There's a reason why, after launches of certain games, they entice people with DLC, and that kind of like, gets people excited and it adds a little more. And then later on, they'll re release a game with all the DLC included. And it's more of a well rounded product as opposed to when it launched. It happens all the time, it's happened for decades. Um, I do think though that if they were to change a few things that it could. The thing is, I mean, I thought the acting and the cutscenes were pretty
Mm-hmm.
good. I for certain characters, I just had a hard time watching the stream, and like they either looked really good or super wonky. So I don't know if they're gonna fix that at all. But
Yeah,
I think
probably.
everything else you said in terms of like the NPCs, in terms of the enemies, the AI, the maybe the overall gameplay, maybe adjustments here and there to like the driving or the gunplay, let's say. If they were to just fix all of those things that should have been in there and they should have spent more time on, I agree with you. I think that it does have potential. As it is right now, it's a little harder because the story, I just again, I can't wrap my brain around what the story actually is. It's so vague, and I don't know. I just No Man's Sky, the difference is that No Man's Sky was supposed to be an open world, it's science fiction. It was this new thing where you could go to different planets and do different kinds of things, but it was unfinished ultimately. So then when they did fix it, then they made a more complete package and you kind of knew what was going on because there was so much hype for it already. It failed. And then they were able to get back up and they were able to have a really amazing comeback. This is kind of like the opposite where it was like it seemed like people knew what the deal with the game was just because of Leslie Benzie, and not so much because of the premise or the overall, package that you're getting out of it. It was so mysterious. The details that I learned, it was so mysterious, and people were like, "I kind of don't know what this is about, but I'm still willing to give it a shot. I'm still willing to give it a try." And
Mhm.
then when it happened, it's like, "But what is this?" And
Yeah.
even the people playing it were like, "What the heck is this?" So I think that again, anything's possible, but there is a very big difference between No Man's Sky and MindsEye in terms of their trajectories and how they were made and what they can do to make up for it. We'll see. I don't know though what they're gonna do at this point.
Yeah, no, I mean, so I'm right now, just for full disclosure, and this is from WCCF Tech, and they are reporting that PlayStation is giving players refunds for Mind's Eye. And this was reported today, 9:58
Wow.
a.m. So yeah,
No shit.
if you're really frustrated with the game, you can go ahead and you can get your refund.
Oh
Um,
my god.
yeah,
That's how
and
you know.
yeah, and another article here. I didn't share the last one, but I'll share this one. I don't know why I didn't share it, but
It's
here we
okay.
go. So
Yeah.
right here, you read it. Mind's Eye dev heartbroken amid troubled launch as players report success with refunds and sponsored streams are canceled last minute. Um,
Yikes.
yeah, so I mean, you see there. This was on the other article there, showing the refunds.
Mm.
Yeah.
MindsEye dev canceled
Yeah,
Twitch
canceled Twitch
streamer
streamer.
Cohen Carnage's playthrough of the game seconds before it was supposed to start. He said it was the first time that this has ever happened in his streaming career. Yikes.
Yeah. So I mean, so you see that, you know, it's rough. It's rough right
Yeah,
now. And
totally.
now what I want to talk about is the launch. I had talked to you on the phone about some theories that I had. Um,
Yeah.
so again, this game came out 2 days ago, the 10th of June. Now, years ago on the PS4, Titanfall 2 released at the same time that I believe it was Battlefield 1 and it was a Call of Duty game that released at the same time. And I'm going to pull it up right now. Um, and when that happened, the game got screwed over. So it was 2016. So I'm trying to think what came out in 2016 at that time. I think it was Black Ops 3. Yeah, it was Black Ops 3, which is like kind of the same movement. And I think it was honestly Battlefield. I think it was Battlefield 4.
Wasn't Far Cry 4 out in 2016? Or am I mixing that up?
No, I think
Thought
you're
it
mixing.
was.
No, Black Ops 3 was 2015. So what released in 2016?
Okay.
All games released
Oh, Far Cry
2016.
4 was 2014. Excuse me. Never mind.
It was Battlefield 1 and Uncharted 4, Overwatch. I forgot Overwatch. Damn, that makes me feel old.
Oh, wow.
So
That was like the game for
for a
recently.
while, yeah.
For
No
a
Man's
while.
Sky.
I think Overwatch 2 was the one that's been popping off pretty recently, but yeah.
Oh, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. That game sucked. But I mean, again, you look at some of these games that came out because, like I said, Titanfall 2, that came out October 28th. You had Battlefield that came out on October 2016 as well. Um, for a game to go up with a game like that just has such a big standing. And then they also
Mm,
had the remaster of Call of Duty 4. So to go up against some big hitters like that, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. I think Mafia 3 came out. Yeah, Mafia 3 also came out at the same time. So it was just a very clustered time. So for them to go ahead and have to deal with that, and they didn't hit the numbers that they wanted to. And again, Overwatch as well. But Overwatch came out earlier in the year. Totally forgot Overwatch came out in 2016. Felt like it was
that's
longer.
crazy.
Yeah, I felt like it was longer than that.
I thought it
Um,
was shorter, to be honest,
you thought
because
it
it
was
feels so
shorter?
recent.
I mean, I know 2 is out now, but I felt like 1 came out but yeah, the PS4 came out in 2013. Damn it. Oh man, I'm getting my years all mixed up now. I feel old.
We are
Golly.
so old.
Yeah, I know.
So
We're
old.
almost 30, dude. Or I'm
Well,
almost
I'm
30.
already there,
You're
so
30.
too
Yeah, I'm
late for
20.
me, but oh
I'm
well.
29, dude. Oh man. It's
Oh
rough.
boy. Now
Oh.
you're gonna get old man brain with the video games.
Whoa, buddy, as the Kino Casino would say. But
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was in a situation where a lot of games came out around that same time. So I think with
Yes.
MindsEye, they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to release in the fall time where there's a bunch of games that are going to release at the same time and they get lost in the shuffle. I think that was one.
Mm,
But even then, I think if they had till October, the game still wouldn't have been ready. They still would have needed more time.
yeah.
Now, there was a report that came out that a bunch of the employees were believed that RockStar Games was telling people to say negative things about the game. So they had paranoia that Rockstar was trying to make them look bad.
Hmm.
So with that being said, I think it's only fair to also assume that they didn't want to release it a year from now in June of 2026. Because why? Because GTA is coming out in May of 2026. So they
True.
didn't want to release ahead of GTA. They wanted to release at their own time when GTA is not even a thought, when everyone's going ahead and just worried about, oh, we're going to play Mind's Eye, and then they could make their money, try to get a dedicated fan base, and get money that way. Now, with that being said, again, I think this game was years out. I think they needed another 2 solid years before they got the game where it needed to be. I don't think it was ready. I don't think it would have been ready in a year. I think in a year, what they could have done is I think they could have expanded more on the story, because the
Right.
story, I mean, I feel like I'm near the end. But again, I just find it so hard to keep playing. But it's also a linear story. I feel like in a year, what they should have done if they had postponed it for a year, work on the AI. The AI needs to be overhauled so badly. Work on the AI. That's the first thing I would do. If you want to do this linear story, great, cool, whatever. The AI's got to be so much smarter. I would do that the
Mhm.
first year. Second year, I would go ahead and um, I would make it open world. I would try to make it open world, try to make sure that all the other bugs and everything else is fine. And I would add missions, but and make it open world and do like just side missions like find 50 of these, find 25 of these things, blah blah blah. And I think that for what they and going forward in the third year, again, I would have pushed it 3 to 4 years out. In the third year, I would have had open stores, like shops that you can go into so you can customize the character, change his hair, change his clothes, gun stores so you can buy different weapons. Um, that's what I would have done personally. That's just my feeling on the matter. That's how I would have approached it. Um, and then the last year 4, would be bug fixes, making sure that everything works, and then get it out. Let people enjoy MindsEye. Um, but yeah, again, they failed. They failed immensely. I think that I think there was pressure, and this is where the empathy is going to kick in. These developers don't have a say. They do as they're told. They make what they can. I downloaded Unreal Engine 5 recently, and I told you I'm working on a game, and I'm doing it as like a joke, but we'll, we'll
Oh,
talk.
it's one of the worst things you'll ever know, people, when we get to it. God. And by the way, this persona of Mitchell right now, this is a show persona. If you knew behind the scenes what this guy is like, he would drive you nuts. So I'm
You're
just letting you
welcome.
people know that when we get to this game, my head's gonna cave in. But that's all I'm gonna say about this game that you're creating, Mitchell. That's all I'm
You're
gonna say.
you're welcome. But I went ahead and I downloaded it, and to learn about the different assets and how to move stuff around. Even just doing this show,
Mhm.
learning, like I told you recently, like I was trying to learn how to do different things on my phone with CapCut.
Right.
Just in case if my computer's not working, or if it's like we need to get something out real quick, I can be like, oh shit, my computer's doing an update, do it on the phone.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I've been trying to learn how to do things differently, and it takes time. And these developers, they're trying to learn how to work with Unreal Engine, and they're trying to do the different coding, and they're trying to make this game work while trying to make it look good also. And then they also have these people that don't know what games are, that don't love what games are, and don't respect the artistry that is video games, saying, get it the fuck out, make the money, get it out there. I got bills to pay. So you got that also in the background playing out. And I think that's why this game came out when it did. I think it came out because there's definitely like investors or people that are looking at the monetary side of things rather than the art form or the long-term vision of this game, and they're saying get it out as soon as possible.
Mhm.
I think in some way, shape, or form we're going to see some story that comes out that says, I don't want this to happen, but I think it's going to come out that Build a Rocket Boy is closing their doors, and it's going to be because of a terrible launch like this with investors that just don't care.
Yeah.
Um, Video games are tough; they are hard to make, and
There.
in an industry where there are so many dedicated fans, there are so many people who are loyal. Slash, there's so much competition, it is tough to break into this market. If you release at a time where, let's say, League of Legends comes out with another game and you try to compete with League of Legends, you're out of your mind. you're not going to win.
For real.
You try to compete with Call of Duty, you're out of your mind. You try to compete with Madden, and I'm saying this in the sense that you make a game that's similar. If I was to go ahead and spend the rest of this year and next year up until the launch of GTA 6, I spent every waking minute working on a new open world game. And I was like, we're going to beat GTA 6. Evan, you need to ask me where's the crack pipe, because there's no way I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there's no way that anyone's going to do that. People are looking at that trailer. They're looking, I mean, we overanalyzed and we have 2 parts.
Exactly.
Because of how much detail is in that game. And that's, yeah, and there's stuff that is just so detailed, and they do such a good job. So for this studio to go ahead and to be given the shaft like that, I just don't like that, and it doesn't sit well with me. And I think it's really unfortunate that because of one failed launch, because of probably not nepotism, but just being delusional and just saying, just saying get the game out, it's going to cost people their jobs. And these are people that probably went to school, worked really hard to get to where they are, and what happens? They get boned.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
I mean, it happens in just about every storytelling medium that there is out there, and it is unfortunate, and it's very unfair. And Hollywood and all these other places, all they do is we keep saying this over and over again whenever we've been covering video games, but it's always about the money. It's never about the workers. It's never about the art. It's never about entertainment or stories. It's about the bottom dollar. And I agree with you that people do get boned, and it's always unfair because these are very hardworking people. They wanted to get into this because of their passion, because of their drive and their love for the medium that they want to get into, whether it be video games or movies or television or whatever. And there's no sustainability in terms of having a career. Either you somehow get incredibly lucky or you fall up to the wayside. It is an unfair situation, unfortunately. So I think it is good to have empathy and try to give people benefit of the doubt. I personally I judge the product. I never judge the people doing the product. I only just judge the product itself, because like what you said, there are hardworking people out there who want to make a good product, but it's hard. And again, movies, television, all of that, even comics, they're all very hard to get into, and they're all very hard to make. And if something's great, that's kind of like a miracle unto itself. If something is really great, but if something's really bad, well, it should be normal. But people don't give people the benefit of the doubt like that.
And that's what frustrates me. I know I told you to watch the DSP stream. I watched it too. Oh my! Just how disrespectful he is, like, to video
He's
games.
an
Like,
idiot.
yeah, like he's like, oh, these fucking idiot fucking developers. Like, you didn't think about this, fucking idiots. Huh? Snort.
Why is the frame rate at 120? I don't know why it has to be so quick. It's clipping all the time. Oh, I'm going to change it back to 60. Oh, I'm going to change it back to 120 again. And then later, before he starts playing his Mario Kart, he's like, oh, well, I just want people to know I was just messing around with the graphics. But, like, what's the point of doing that if you're arguing that the game is broken? Like, you idiot. Play the game. Have some fun. Don't be a loser.
Yeah, and then when he was like playing MindsEye, he's like, oh, these fucking stupid fucking developers, like DSP, these people are a lot smarter than you. Like, don't sit there just because. Don't sit there with your Hogan pull
Try
money.
to develop a game even half as decent as MindsEye DSP. I dare you.
No, I got one better for you. How about DSP develop like half of the fucking good habits that those normal fucking people have? Like, go touch grass outside. I'm the one with the successful business. Me. Wait, did you ever see the Re?
Well, you showed me.
Yeah. He goes, me. Re. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is Re?
He's a creature of habit.
I think he was trying to say, so we're gonna censor ourselves. I think he was trying to say regard, but instead
probably.
And then halfway he went, no, I gotta say me.
Okay,
that's
just read.
that's my personal
Guys, we need to hit the goal, and
that's
I'm gonna
my
say read. So you're gonna have to deal with it. Okay,
that's
we
my
gotta finish the goal.
that's my Theo theory. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, I mean, again, with DSP, man, DSP is on the mind now. Crazy. With Mind's Eye,
Mind's eye.
I feel bad. I think these developers, I hope they get another chance. I hope they land on their
I
feet.
hope so.
I hope that they get another chance to show that they can go ahead and um, make top content. I mean,
Yeah.
I downloaded again. I told you I downloaded Unreal Engine, and I've been playing around with it. Trying to figure out how to do things. I mean, I wonder. Like, I was talking not with you. I was talking with a mutual friend of ours, uh, Deepu, who we hope to get on the show soon.
Yes.
I was talking with him, and I actually said to him, I said, I wonder if this is going to be like the future. Like, people are going to learn how to make their own games, and like we're going to have like video games that are like $100 from like the big companies, and then you're gonna be like, hey, you want to play my open world game for $10? You can
Want to
drive
buy
and
a watch, but it's a video game.
you want to buy. I don't have Call of Duty, but I got Duty Calls for $20. It's a first
Yeah.
person shooter. I'm gonna make a game called Florida Man. No, I'm joking.
Oh my god. I would play the hell out of that game. That would be crazy. I'm going into the store. No, get him. Woo! And then you're just running from the police.
The boss.
You're riding in a shopping cart down the road.
There's 4 boss fights in the whole game.
Yes.
The first one's a gator. It's the king of the gators. That's what you have to
Yes.
do. The second one is another Florida man. The third,
It's your arch nemesis.
the third boss is your parole officer. The last fight's a hurricane.
Quick, get to the shelter. X X X X X B B B B X X X.
Start punching the hurricane.
He's like trying to pull down the hatch. B B B X X X B B.
Fuck! Holy shit, dude! Oh man, that's awesome. But yeah, okay.
Florida Man, rated E for no. We're not doing it for everybody.
Yeah, rated F for go fuck yourself.
Rated F for Florida Man.
Rated F for Florida. Christ. But yeah, no, I just again, I hope that the people that worked on Mind's Eye, I hope that the studio doesn't shut down. I hope they get another chance. I want them to try to. I want them to try to go ahead and have another chance at another game. Do something that's worthwhile. Not that this game wasn't worthwhile, but you know what I mean? Like something that they will actually get love for rather than all this hate that they received.
It was just a dud, and I do hope that the studio will come back with something
or
more realized,
or
more
if
interesting, to be honest.
Or if they can fix it, But to me,
Yeah.
it's like, is it really worth all that time trying to fix it, or would it be better just to say it's dead on arrival, we're on to something else?
Yeah, it's hard to know, but I lean on the fact that they should probably move on. If they want to improve it, that's their right, and they can. But again, there's still so many problems, especially with the launch and with I just think they should just move on and then maybe do things more differently. Maybe do things more better. Maybe if they really wanted to do a linear story, maybe figure out how to do it in a linear way, but that there's a little more adaptability. Who knows? Like, do something. But I don't know. It just didn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
From what I see.
Yeah.
You played the game. I did not. But for what I see, I think they need to figure it out.
Yeah, I think it'd be better just to, like, they already promised DLCs. They have a year-long roadmap of DLCs that they're going to release. So in theory, they could release like a patch when those come out and fix things little by little and try to see what the reception is then. Like, do they, like, if they release the first one with the first batch of missions, how does it come out? Maybe let's say in theory, I don't think they could do this in that time, but they come out with the first batch of missions and then all of a sudden, they added recoil to the weapons now, so they don't shoot like lasers no more. And they added some new weaponry and they added some new vehicles. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Then the second patch comes out and they're like, yeah, we fixed the AI. The AI is more adaptive now. It adapts to your type of combat and how you play. and I'd be like, okay, that's a step in the right direction. And then the third one comes out, we fix the citizens, the NPCs are no longer dumb. And then they come out with the
And they
fourth
don't
one.
freeze randomly if you shoot at them.
Yeah, and then they do the fourth one. They're like, "Oh, we fixed this problem." Then I would be
Yeah.
like, "Okay, that's pretty cool," but you should probably have all that at launch. But yeah,
At least most of it, if
yeah,
not half of it.
yeah,
Just saying, build a rocket boy.
yeah. But
Build a rocket boy. What does that mean?
yeah,
DSP.
when he was
What does that mean?
I'm like, that's the company, you fucking dunce. Oh, he's such an idiot, dude. And he was doing that just to be dramatic. Like he was trying to be that whole stream. He was trying to be so dramatic. Like I can't even reverse, huh? Like, oh, such a dope.
He's a dope.
And then he calls himself.
In conclusion, DSP is a dope, and MindsEye, he could do it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
If DSP was a video game, he'd be worse than MindsEye. Okay.
Truly. Oh, he's already worse than MindsEye.
Yeah, he's already real piece of shit.
I don't want to play that video game. I couldn't. I had a very hard time with that stream. It was so. It hurt my soul, Mitchell.
It hurt me too. Just watching him, like, I watched it too, and then I just watching him like that. He drove through a donut, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just drove through the donut." Yeah, I'm like,
I didn't see that, but that's great.
Yeah, it was like a donut on like a little diner, and then he drives the drone through, and he's like, "Oh, I just don't do the donut." I'm like, "What's so funny about that?"
Oh my,
that's not funny. TS be like, "What the fuck?"
It's not funny.
Yeah,
nothing you find funny is actually funny.
Yeah, he's just a moron.
Truly.
But okay, so let's wrap it up here. We're gonna reiterate one more time. So based off of everything I've seen in MindsEye, story. Weird, not bad, not great, mid, but I would say kind of mid bad. It leans more towards the bad side. Characters, I thought they were mid good. I didn't think anyone was good. I didn't think anyone was great. Nothing really compelled me. Gameplay, cars, I go good. Gunplay, bad. It's that simple. The world, a lot of detail to it. It's a shame that they didn't make it open world. They had so much potential with that. But with that being said, there's probably a reason why they didn't do it. AI, absolute dog water. Absolute dog water. Didn't understand what the hell was like. What's wrong with them? It was bad. Just really bad. AI doesn't do anything well. I forgot to mention like the characters. I don't know if I said that before. Maybe I did. I thought they were. I thought I already did. Okay.
Mid to good is what you said. Yeah.
Okay. So, AI was bad. AI was bad. The world, I would say was good. Again, shame that it wasn't open world. So I would say probably mid good. So in that range. But yeah, I wish that they did. I wish that they made it open world. I wish they took more time to make the game. But my hearts goes out to all the developers that worked on this game. I hope they don't lose their job. I hope that they're able to try to make something that they're more proud of. And if they were forced to go ahead and make the game and release it early, I hope that doesn't happen again, because I think that, I mean, you see little snippets of people that have some true talent that can make a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But I think it's just something that's beyond our knowledge. Probably something to do with like backstage politics, for lack of a better term, where they just get the game out now, something like that. So
we need to hit our quota.
Yeah. So I hope that no one lost their job, or if they do, I hope they fall on their feet. So, Evan, anything you want to add?
I hope they land on their feet as well. I'll wrap up my thoughts by saying, you know what this game reminded me of, and follow me if you can, Mitchell. This game is the SpongeBob SquarePants best day ever of video games. Now follow me, Mitchell. This may not make sense at first, but hear me out. This was actually a episode of SpongeBob, but before it was an episode, it was a song. It was a really catchy song. and it was kind of like, oh, this is gonna be so awesome, this is gonna be so amazing. They created an entire SpongeBob marathon, and leading up to this brand new episode of this amazing event that they would call the best day ever. And at the time, this was back 2007, 2008, when like TV was a thing and not like streaming. Us kids, we would watch it and we would go through all the episodes, and it was good, but whatever. And we watched the episode. It's here. They finally pop it up. They even have a countdown of the best SpongeBob episodes of all time, and the episode wasn't any special at all. It was kind of like, okay, so what? Like, this is the best day ever. Like, they're just doing the usual SpongeBob stuff, but there's just the song in the episode. Like, you hyped this whole thing up. You had an entire marathon. You brought up Patchy the Pirate, but this is it. This is the best day ever. And like, people were so used to like the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, which was a huge thing, right? And they were used to all sorts of crazy stuff going on. But it's like, people, this is your episode, really? And MindsEye is like, this is your video game, really? Like, come on, people, do something with what you're trying to do here. In any case, it's not the best day ever, and it's not the best video game ever either, but it is what it is. That concludes my thoughts. I will now do the promotion. Please subscribe and hit the bell and hit a donkey, and don't jack cars, and don't have chips in your necks. Follow us on Spotify and Apple for your audio versions of the show. And Mitchell, take it away. Wrap it up for us. Until next time.
Yep. Well, until next time, Evan already said it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. You get the notification. And until next time, peace out.
Bye, everybody.